after an outage of Amazon Web Services took down thousands of popular apps and websites. The latest ahead. And mounting concerns over the safety of popular children's gaming app Roblox prompts the Florida Attorney
How
General
you
to
doing?
issue
I'm Controlling
subpoenas. We'll explain ahead.
Kentucky. 44 years old. I'm schizophrenic, disabled. I'm a mental health handicapped, mental health patient.
That's right. DirecTV
I'm
is
a
flexing with all those
I'm a
pro
king.
games at your fingertips.
I'm
This ain't your dad's game, son.
Vice
It's
President of the United States of America. I'm a congressman, a Kentucky congressman. Talk about Facebook, they're doing maintenance. I'm a Fed chairman, FBI director, and I'm a senator warden. And then I got SSI, food stamp, telecom, Medicaid, Medicare, retirement, royalties. I'm a sex offender, beach gamer, and I'm a billionaire. And I own a state-owned, fairly owned home business, small business, family business, and today is October 21st, 2025, and I'm Charlie. God bless you.
Settle. It's not so bad.
So today, it's the end of the month. It's a holiday month, and I'm waiting on mom and dad. Thank you.
Amazon says its services are back online after a massive outage brought down several major apps and websites. The disruption impacted flights, stalled online purchases, and halted work for millions. CNN's Claire Duffy has more on what went wrong.
Yeah, the internet was on quite the roller coaster on Monday. Reports of outages began around 3 a.m. Eastern time as people started to wake up on the East Coast and were unable to order Starbucks on the app or play Wordle. Continuing throughout the day, we saw some flight delays because United and Delta Airlines were affected. People were unable to access the normal services they do at work, like Zoom and Slack. And it even continued into this evening, with some people worried that they would be unable to access tickets from Ticketmaster for live events. Now, part of the reason this continued throughout the day is we saw a number of different disruptions to Amazon Web Services, different systems. It solved one issue, said its systems were coming back online, but then as it was trying to bring customers back, that caused yet another issue. Now, as of this evening, Amazon says its services are mostly back up and running. The company said we continue to observe recovery across all AWS services. But I think to understand why this had such a widespread impact, it's helpful to understand what AWS is, because it really sits at the heart of much of the internet. Now, in the early days of the internet, companies would largely operate their websites, their web services, their apps based on their own computers and servers. Now, millions of companies rent server space from Amazon Web Services, and that generally makes life easier. It saves companies money, unless there is an outage like we saw today. And then you get a sense of just how fragile the internet ecosystem can be because we are reliant on a small number of core infrastructure partners. One expert that I spoke to estimated that the financial impact of the outage on Monday could be in the hundreds of billions of dollars because consumers weren't able to spend money normally, and people weren't able to come and do their jobs as they normally would. So you really get a sense of just how important these key players are and the impact and the ripple effects it can have for consumers around the world. Back to you.
Claire Duffy, thank you. Former President Joe Biden has completed a course of radiation therapy for his cancer treatment, according to a spokesperson. Check out the Instagram story from his daughter Ashley. Among other things, it shows the former president ringing the bell It's a tradition among cancer survivors who
That's just
complete a
side
round
check.
of treatment. Biden is battling prostate cancer. It's unclear what the next steps are in his treatment. The former president will turn 83 next month. Officials in Philadelphia say DNA tests do confirm human remains found in a shallow grave are those of a missing woman. Prosecutors say 23-year-old Kata Scott had been missing for about 2 weeks. Her remains were located in a heavily wooded area behind an abandoned school. After officials say they
So for
received an
today,
anonymous tip.
um,
A
it's
21-year-old
hard
suspect,
to know
Keon
the
Keene, has been
conditions
arrested
of
and
most
charged with
people,
kidnapping and other offenses in
but
this case.
if
Prosecutors
it's
say
unkept,
more
then
charges
that's
are
why
in
it
the
goes
works.
like it.
His bail
Somebody
is
goes
set at more than
crazy, or
$2
somebody
million.
loses it real bad. I'm black.
Also making
I
news
don't
across
have
the
that type
country, a
of
tragedy
problem. I
on
usually
the
say I do
mail
the
route
black
in
thing, like
Texas.
Mexicans
A
do it,
postal worker
and then I go
killed in a
through
car
like the
crash
streets
in a
and shit
Houston
like that.
neighborhood.
But
The
the streets
driver of the
ain't
pickup
as
that hit the
child's
mail
play. I've
truck
been doing the
was
streets since a
allegedly
kid,
intoxicated and
and
fleeing the
that only
scene of an
happens on the
earlier
initial
crash. The
initial
postal
entry.
worker
When you
later
come
died in the
in like that,
hospital.
they
He
expect
was
you to go
well
to
known
prison,
and widely
and
loved by neighbors,
you know,
and
you
had
get
worked
shot
for the Postal
normally
Service
without
for nearly 30 years.
without that type of
In California, a man has been busted
situation. You
and
can
checked
actually get
out
hit
the hall.
for
Yeah,
doing
the
something
crime
like
was
that.
stealing
See what I'm saying? So
whole
you
lot
don't
of
come out
lemonades.
10
Authorities in
years
Seven
later
Roses say
and
they discovered
start
tens of
professing that
thousands
you're
of
right and
debris.
wrong.
They say it was
Sometimes
all part of
if
an
it's like
operation where
that, it's
thousands
like
of
it, but so
dollars of
much
popular toys were
stuff
stolen and then
on the streets
resold
is
to
normal.
unsuspecting
But
buyers. The
in
man
big,
allegedly
in
behind the
let's say
crime ring is facing several more
what they
charges.
say, in a
In
big world, you
Nebraska,
get big
confusion in
girls.
the
So
air
if you
led
like
to an
girls, you
emergency
need to stick
landing
with
just
the
18
girls.
minutes
You
after
need to stay with
takeoff.
the girls.
So
You like
here's what
hanging
happened. The
out with
system
girls.
that lets the pilots and
You're
the
not
flight attendants
into hanging out
communicate,
with the
it
guys. You're not
failed
into that
on
type
a
of
flight
street
between
activity. You
Omaha
into
and LA. And then to
like
make matters worse, the pilots
kissy
heard a noise
face
outside
and
the cockpit door.
romance and
It
all that
was actually
nonsense.
the
But it's
flight
good
crew
to
that
do
was
that.
knocking on
I
the
mean,
door,
it's
but the
hard to
pilots
get out
didn't know
of
that. So
once
they
a girl
thought
traps
it
you
may
up
be
and
somebody trying to
put you in a
commandeer the
bad spot
plane.
where
So
you
an
having
emergency was
families
declared, and the plane turned
and
around.
you
Doors to the
taking care of the
cockpit aren't
kids and taking them to
normally
school and
locked
stuff
now
like
due
that.
to post
When you
9/11
just wanted to
rules.
screw, man. That's why it's sad
Imagine
like
creating
that when
a
you do
boat
something
out
like
of a
that.
large
But it's not
blanket
even
and
the
then
streets. It's
trusting it to
just
float
basic stuff that
with you
ain't serious. It's not
It's
serious.
the
Not that
annual
serious, but
giant
it's that
pumpkin
serious
regatta
like
in New
that.
Hampshire.
We
Here's
gotta
Mike
get
Moses from
concerned that you ever been
CNN
child
affiliate
abused or
WIOD.
you've been raped or some woman got you on, something like that. You ain't cool for real, and then somebody just comes in and just trucks you real bad, and you gotta go through the hell that you've been going through since a kid. Man, nobody likes you for real, but you go in prison, you bad and shit like that. You tough then, but you're in prison for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, the kids ain't coming out popping your ass. What they ain't doing. What they don't do. Some of that stuff they taught you in school, you act like you don't even know it. You see what I'm saying? Why you come out knowing everything in a matter of seconds, like a superhero. But the cops ain't really the threat. It's just where they probably wasn't. They thought it was a special world. Ain't nothing special about it. You gotta live for a long time. Some of that stuff you've been using, that school work, you probably had something, a little disagreement with the police in school. You didn't like the system because you was a kid that was living with your mother and fathers, and then you went to college, and then whatever you did, if you did those two things there, that's normally okay. Some people want to just stay at home and do right. Most kids won't do that. They won't do nothing to you. The new ones won't, but the old ones probably used to. They probably used to do some stuff like that. But the kids nowadays, they won't. And people, those are actual families. They care about their kids. They care about you and me and all that good stuff. Some people just care about their money, and when they get like that, that's where you think nobody's rich or something like that. And you got money too, but we ain't gonna sit up here and sell our whole family out. We got money, but that's just how it works. You gotta use your money wisely. You can't control your habits and stuff like that. That's when you don't know what's wrong with you. You may have a condition or something like that nobody's never heard of, and currently it's COVID. You got COVID-19 running through you, or you trying to fight it. You shouldn't have too many cigarettes, but you gotta be careful. Some people are slow real bad. We're taking advantage of them, and they don't want to get taken advantage of. But when you sign a deal or something like that, usually you got to make pornography just for your recreational treatment. It's not. What's it going to be? You're going to be a cool kid in high school. You're going to be a porn star. See what I'm saying? So that's why we don't know. Most of us, when people don't know why you feel so bad about yourself. See what I'm saying? Because kids are usually shown on TV, and that's when they get used that way. See what I'm saying? I'm used on TV. But I make pornography. And that
These
doesn't
plans have a
offend me. I'm
$0
not
monthly
using
plan
it
premium.
because that's what I can do. I can handle
Most
women.
plans
Some people
include
have that type of
human health
issue
options
where
allowance.
their family
Get over
mistreated them or they care
$1,000 a
about their
year.
family internally,
That's
but they don't want
$85
to
a month
really go
to help pay
into
for covered
taking care of their own family. Want to take care of some woman. That's what I mean.
Pay me
You
divas.
like you like
First
women,
dates,
you want to take care of your
and
own
more.
mother and father, but
The
that's how
healthy
sad
options
it is.
allowance
That's
is
how
loaded
sad
onto a prepaid
reality
card
is.
each month.
And that's when people are
And
just
whatever you
just
don't spend,
little
carries over for each
nestles
month.
of
Plus, your
a
doctor,
bomb.
hospital,
They can
and
explode.
pharmacy may
They can
already
explode
be
and do
part of our
something. So the cops are
Humana
good for
network
that
system.
reason. But
So call
sometimes the
the number on
cops
your
done
screen
figured
now
out that
and ask about a Humana
let that
Medicare
guy
Advantage
get away, and
dual
he
eligible
he
special
kept saying,
offer.
I'm
And remember,
cool too. I'm like
annual
it too.
enrollment
Richard's
ends
like
on
it too.
December 7th.
I won't bother you either. But most black guys ain't like me.
Humana,
They probably will. They
more
probably will
human
pop you
healthcare.
for real if you do something like that. They will hit you. They will hit your ass up. It won't go on see no like up prison. So that's why it goes like he laying dead in the corner on the sidewalk, and somebody's like, hell, why you gotta do it too? I'm just saying when it's that hard to control, that's where you got to go into boot camp. You got to do all this work, community service and shit like that. You go into prison, people telling you not to go to prison and shit like that. So easy not to go to prison that you want to volunteer to go to prison just to see what it's like. It's a piece of shit. Prison is unless there's something wrong with you. Been there just for look cool or something like that, and then the coup backfire like it. Now Facebook is doing maintenance, but it wasn't working right, but. Sometimes that racism is how it is. People who so racist, they thought it was cool to be racist. That gets you locked up. Get you think once you start to get locked up, man, the world's over with. Your family, your money, everything. Imagine to
The
go in
Florida
prison.
Attorney
You don't
General
mind staying in there.
just
You mind
issued
hanging
subpoenas
out
to
with the white
White
guys, but
House
they
over
saying, "Hey, we
child
in prison,
safety,
bitch.
alleging
You
that
getting
the video
shanked. We
gaming
getting a
platform is
shot
a
of
quote
shank with it."
breeding
But the
ground
surprise
for
is that's why
predators.
you got to
The
watch out
Attorney
what you
General
do.
says the
You got to
subpoenas will
plan out
likely gather
everything you
more
do because
information about
some people are
suspected
intelligent
predators
like
and
that because
victims.
there
The
was somebody
law
give you in
says
the
it
prison. They give you
prohibits people
normally
from
at home
sharing
they don't
images
give that
and
type of thing. I
videos
know
in
it's bombs
chats
and things
and
people can do
uses
to you.
filters
But
to
when the cops
block the
get you like that,
exchange
they
of
put you in there. And
personal
I said,
info.
I ain't
It
the
also
cop. I
says
ain't the
they
cop guy.
continuously
I'm saying when you
monitor
go in there like that, there's some
communications to look
guys
for
they
and
go have been there
remove
for a
harmful
minute, been
content.
couple years, when you go in there, and then that's when it goes like hell. Well, this guy's sitting there, he
In
ain't doing
today's
nothing,
Money Express,
eating the
Elon
cookies.
Musk
He's
and
having cookies and milk,
SpaceX
so like
may
getting
not
popped
make
and get
NASA's
popped
golden
inside.
ticket
So he
back
didn't
to the
know it.
moon after all.
He don't know what's going.
Mariel
He don't know
Haber
what's going to
joins us on the
happen.
Nasdaq Market
So I
Site with
said,
that
hell,
and
by
the
chance,
rest
if you
of your
just
top
behaved
money
yourself,
headlines.
then you
Mariel?
would have been all right. But he didn't do all that. He did something like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you and pop. It went in there. So that's why you don't go to prison. You get popped. Now normally the counter of that out in society that you'll get sued and you don't mind paying it. But when you get sued, you mind paying it. Then they're gonna keep draining, and then it goes hell. You ain't got no money to get off, so you sitting there calling me, yeah, bitch, give me some money. I give you some money. You should be all right. But the problem is, but that woman you done seen so many times, man. That's not to mess with. Let her do all that shit because you gonna have to give her kid something like that, and she's gonna be saying, "Why didn't somebody protect me?" Because you want to have a kid and get somebody for child support. So when you do something like that, just gotta lock you up like that. She's gonna give you corn and beans and shake you in the side. Understand you before you get there. Now we can't help it. We can't help it. Your mom and dad probably abused you, child molested you, did something to you. You can put your makeup on, did your hair and everything like that. Now it's magical that you're doing stuff like that, and they got you like that, make you think you get on TV. That's why that's your joke. Your joke then.
Reusable cup with any holiday drink purchase. The promotion includes seasonal discounts and rewards throughout the holidays. Holiday drinks arrive a week earlier on November 6th with latte flavors like iced sugar cookie, gingerbread, caramel brulee, and eggnog for a limited time. Just the season, Brian. I'm about to get ready to get that tree out of storage. We've got 65 days, buddy.
Oh man, only 65 days. I am also looking forward to a peppermint mocha. That is my favorite from Starbucks. Can't wait. All right, Maribel Haber, appreciate you as always. Thank you. Taylor Swift's loyal legion of Swifties are coming to the rescue of a Northern California aquarium. And it's all because of the vintage shirt she wore to a release party movie for her new The Life of a Showgirl album. Here's Jasmine Desarnett from our affiliate, KSBW.
Leave it to fans of the iconic Taylor Swift to bring a classic 32-year-old Monterey Bay Aquarium t-shirt back to life. Liz McDonald, one of the masterminds behind honoring the Swifties' request, said this was an all-hands-on-deck effort.
We were in the archives digging through. We were contacting former aquarium staff members, all trying to find out. And then, of course, all the Swifties online were also doing their own sleuthing. And I think it was really a whole group effort to bring the aquarium and Liberty Graphics together so that we could make this happen.
This is the aquarium's way of saying thank you to Swift for the shout out and another to her fans, who not only flooded the aquarium's comments but supported the aquarium's mission the only way Swifties know how.
We also saw an uptick in $13 donations, which is wonderful. That's like a little thank you from the Swifties, so we really appreciate that.
The aquarium added a special spin to claiming the tea. They're asking fans to donate $65.13 to match Swift, letting fans show their appreciation for the adorable sea otters and the aquarium's history of ocean conservation. Like always, Swift fans were ready for it.
I came out this morning, 9:40. I bought it 9:50. And I'm so excited for it to come.
After the fundraiser went live at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, $1 million out of the $1.3 million goal had been raised in just 5 hours.
Ever since I saw the movie, I've been like checking online, on Reddit, on social media, like, are they going to re-release the shirt?
Again, all the money raised will go back to the aquarium to help otters like Ivy, Ruby, and Opal, whose names happen to reference lyrics in the Stars songs.
Like Opal, yeah, her name was voted on by the fans, so we don't know. Was Taylor one of the ones who voted? I'm not sure. Who can say? But only she knows.
And Swift, leaving a permanent mark wherever she goes.
I love that there's a connection between Taylor Swift, who is a international pop star, and bringing in some local recognition to Monterey Bay Aquarium. I feel like it's an amazing show of the power of the Swifties.
A story getting some buzz today. Adam Driver says he spent 2 years developing a Star Wars sequel, The Hunt for Ben Solo, hoping to reprise his role as Ben Solo. But he says despite working with director Steven Soderbergh and top writers, Disney turned it down. Driver said he loved the character and would have returned for a great story, calling the script one of the coolest he's ever seen. Maybe he'll get a second life somewhere. One of Netflix's most popular features ever is hitting the big screen again. The streamer is re-releasing a sing-along version of K-pop Demon Hunters for a 3-day run over Halloween weekend. Back in August, the animated feature raked in nearly $20 million at the box office over its 2-day run. And good news for Demon Hunter fans, Variety is reporting that Sony and Netflix are in early talks for a sequel.
They had a case where it's been running
I'm
about
Brian Abel. The news continues
2
next
years. It
on
ran for
CNN
2 years. They
Headline
do it
Express.
every Tuesday. Just the holidays, what they got to do on the holidays. Because sometimes those big social medias forget their that's what my assumption is. They're third world companies. Third world companies are not a big deal. They are a big deal that way. I'm saying that they're a third world company, and that's where those big fish usually swallow them up real bad. See what I'm saying? Sometimes when we have our hardware and then our pieces, then you can do them your way. That's where it's not hitting you. See, if it hits me like that, then that's where I was Facebook, but I'm just doing the maintenance part of it. I'm doing maintenance, I'm running maintenance. That English is what most people have a hard time with, speaking English. Sometimes they might got to be speaking French or sometimes German or something like that. That street terminology means when you can assess the streets, that's what it helps. It helps a person because you can tell if you're going to be in danger or something like that. But normally you got to get down, man, on that note. I mean, if you ain't going to do nothing but sit there and stroke it, make sure you pop the key in, because if you're going to do all this, man, you don't need to. If you're going to be racist today and not racist tomorrow, that's when racism is killed. Then you're sexist, because the sexist basically goes that's where you don't like women at all. You're having sex with them, and that's sad. But you wonder what's wrong. But sometimes when those guys go, it's nice that they do that. But I'm the president for nobody's going to do nothing. They shouldn't do nothing. But I'm saying for class participation, you win the first, second, third, fourth grade, you don't want to ruin your high school diploma and college degree over some bullshit. See what I'm saying? And it's dumb. Figure that they police need to lock your ass up when you done went through years and years of high school. Nobody went isolation like that. See what I'm saying? You sit in the county wonder how you get down and shit like that. That's why it's slow like that. See what I'm saying? So you got to be able to be a little bit more smarter about approaching women, because you do got to do all these things with her. But if you go in and take her like that, she'll give you a kid. If you ain't care. Now it's cool to wear condoms and have sex with a girl, but when people are child abused and raped and stuff like that, that's when they can't really tell that regular people are having sex, even though we don't look too great. See what I'm saying? I'm having sex with beautiful women. It's not really. It don't really go. A beautiful girl has sex with beautiful men. It goes that you're a decent guy, and she takes you because you got a good feeling about you. The streets don't mean that you should have sex with a woman. It just means by you having your money, give your portion up. Holidays over. Holidays have started, so give the street money up like I'm about to do. So those people don't know by signing a deal though for the release of prison, all this stuff. You're getting ready to get down. You're gonna get down. They're gonna take everything away from you. You're gonna lose everything. You don't mind doing it just to show how cool you are. And then when all this is supposed to be, they pop you, and then you sit there doing. You wish you was on Facebook. You did it on Facebook. Then on CNN. Should do that stuff on Facebook. That's the same thing, same technique. But on video, it goes on YouTube. See what I'm saying? It has to go on YouTube because the mandate of social media means you make your content that's supposed to be the same thing as I say day in, day out. It's the 21st of October. You don't know what time of day it is. Where it's like you can get arrested, but you're not smart enough to get out of the spot. There girls will shake their ass, pop their tits, and lick your lips at you. Yeah, you're supposed to go in and drill it if you want to, man. You can if you want to. You don't have to. But when you don't do those types, some guys gonna go and get her pregnant, man. And you need that information for you to say, assess that black guy has your back like it. There's a gang of other black brothers called the Crips and the Bloods. But if I do something wrong, they're gonna get my ass. So I'm not gonna let them do that. So I'm gonna sit there and tell you that some of that shit you're doing is made up. The KKK and Nazis and some of that shit you're doing is right, but it works. It works if you work the program. It'll work for you. But when you work it into it, it might be, but it's something they may eliminate later on. So normally it's considered to be a white a club, but it's not only unless you let it go like that. When your mind is like hit by the girls stuff like that, it's not the reason why you join the Nazis. You join to you want to date a woman. So that's what it's really not right to do that like that. You know what I'm saying? In certain neighborhoods, certain streets, certain neighborhoods, certain subdivisions, certain communities have certain rules, certain moves that you have to do in order to make it in society. You can't just do point A, point B without knowing that fundamentally you should be great. But as a baby, you didn't have no knowledge at all, and you made it off food, diapers, and whatever your mother and father told you. You got to do those things in order to survive the condition that you're in. So I'm saying, so when you join those cliques like that means you done gave up your police identity. You was a police officer. Now you're a Nazi. Now you're a Nazi, man. So now you got to sit up here and go through this trash and shit. Or with prison before you go willy nilly. You should go sleep away into your room and beat off all night long. You should do that. But if you ain't going to do nothing like that, then get out there and find you a date because of what you like to do. See what I'm saying? Most guys tell you guys are hanging out. I'm not the guy that does it. But guys are hanging out with each other, man, and we'll do this thing with the girls. Ain't that with the guys that get the girls? That's what you know. I ain't too great. I ain't great at that type of thing. I can only go so far with it. I'm kind of a loser at that type of thing. But I can do a move where I can hang out with the guy and then the girl pop up, and then she may take forever to do it, but she'll do it later on. That's what some guys can take the girl out of a spot and just get to her and do her like that since a kid. So my tactic is where if I'm hanging out with the guys, someone by surprise on the internet, on Xbox or on Facebook, anything like that, the girl pop up like that to help miss do what you do with your mother. You know, if you feel like a lady, do respect, you do that on the internet. It makes you probably get on media because they just kind of said they did something like that. So when you treat her like a lady, that's when she's like, well, okay, bitch, well, thank you. Then she's not that big of a deal because she's going to help you out the same way you felt like you wanted to help her. Now, the drawback about being in the I think it's the state program or something else. I'm sure I can figure this out. The one you're trying to learn, which one is that? That one's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. That's the wrong answer. So I'll give you a minute to get your mind together.
Say something did work, and so we are standing here talking about a tragedy averted versus us standing here telling you about 27 plus lives that were lost or injured.
You didn't know
at the
it.
world's
So
busiest airport.
we don't know the
We
answer,
did
but
have
it's
a
like,
tragedy
you can be a cop and all this, but you don't have all the intelligence to be to protect the law, all this stuff.
And I do believe
You
you're
got enough
selected
strength to
use
do
that
what
weapon
you need to
inside the
do
crowded terminal
versus
that
you
just
want
seen.
the college program when it's called.
Cagle now faces
So
multiple charges,
that's when it's a
including
college
possession of a
program. You
firearm
didn't go
by
to
a
college,
convicted
you wouldn't
felon,
be in nothing like that.
terroristic threats,
So
and
when
criminal
when
offense
it's
committing
like that, you're
aggravated
slow like that,
assaults.
man. People got to take advantage of you like that and start
Disgraced
grabbing
music
you,
mogul Sean Diddy Combs is
they'll
appealing both his
kidnap you versus
conviction on
throw you in prison.
prostitution-related charges
Eventually keep
and
going, they'll
his
kidnap you,
50-month
throw you in
prison
the cellar.
sentence.
You
At
be
the
sitting
time of
there
his sentencing, Diddy's
sucking
attorneys
some
told
man's
CNN
guy's
the
dick off
judge got it wrong,
like you plan on doing. So
and that conduct
that's where
related to
you got to
charges where
stop
Diddy
like
was
going
not
that far
convicted
out to
should not have
see what's
been
going on.
considered.
Nothing's going on
But
at
the
all.
judge
See
said
what I'm
he
saying? So
did.
you don't want to
Diddy has
add
been
fuel
in
to the
detention
fire
at a
because
federal
before you
jail in
had
Brooklyn
something.
since his
I
September
said, hell,
2024
don't
arrest.
do that. Now you're subject to get
Now let's go
kidnapped.
down to
So
the Middle East,
that's
where
what I
Vice
mean. Some things
President
are like
Benny
that where
Gantz
the law
is
trying
in
to
Israel
protect you, the
today.
cops trying
He's
to protect you,
joining
and they are.
President
But you
Trump's
keep doing stuff
son-in-law,
like
Jared
trying to
Kushner,
test the
and
waters. Well,
Special
they
Envoy
can't do
Steve
nothing where
Witkoff.
you've been in
Earlier
class all
today,
that
they met
time.
with several
If
of
you
the
roll
recently
over
freed hostages for the
for
first
years and
time.
years and years
The
and
vice president
years,
is joining the
and you're not
envoys
doing
to help
right, yeah,
work
they're
out
going
the
to
next
grab you, they're going to
phase of
spank
the
you, they're going
Israeli
to hit you.
ceasefire
You're
with
going to be the
Hamas.
target. You're going to be the
CNN's
hitman off
Jeremy
Grand
Diamond
Theft
is in
Auto 5.
Jerusalem.
You're the real
After the
hitman, and then you
ceasefire
sitting there walking down the
faced the
street.
biggest test
You
to
get
date,
shot. You
President
really
Trump's
the
top
guy really
envoy
makes
to
the
the Middle
news that you
East
really got
sat
shot, man.
down
See
with
what
the
I'm saying?
Israeli
So
Prime Minister on Monday. Jared
that's why
Kushner
you
and his
don't do nothing
son-in-law
like
as
that
well as
because
Steve Witkoff,
they'll
his
make
special
movies off
envoy,
stuff
the two
like that.
men
You
who
don't want
worked
to do it like
broker
that.
this
But
ceasefire
when you
agreement,
learn
meeting with the
that
Israeli
people are
Prime
taking care
Minister
of you
to try
like
and
that, that's
hold
when
this ceasefire
you don't
together,
feel
but
like that
also
you
to
need to
talk
hurt
about
somebody.
these
You should
next
feel like you need to
steps.
hurt somebody.
Indeed,
That's what
on
school was trying to tell
Sunday,
you.
we
Don't feel
saw
like you
the
need to
ceasefire
hit
nearly
somebody
go up in flames after
or
two
slap
Israeli
somebody or push
soldiers were
somebody.
killed in a
Make sure
Sunday
you
morning
have the
incident that involved
conditioning
sniper
in your
fire as well
mind to
as a
take
rocket-propelled
the
grenade
survival that
that
you
was
need
fired at
or
those
subject to call
troops.
988 for
Following that, we saw
suicide
the Israeli
because
Prime Minister
suicidal may
authorize
be
a
what you be
wave of
facing
airstrikes
because
across
you're
Gaza
going through
in
these
southern,
guys,
central, and
you're going
northern
through all these
Gaza,
guys, and guys are
killing at
telling
least
you, look, I'm
45
doing this
people,
shit for
some
you,
of
man.
whom appear to have
Don't
been
fuck me. See what I'm
civilians.
saying?
And
Don't fuck
we
me out
know
of my
that since
shit.
then, both
Bitch is just
Israel and
telling you that
Hamas
it was that
seem
simple
to
to
be
do all these
expressing their
two,
commitment
one,
to
two,
this
three things.
ceasefire. The
You
guns
went for
have
the
once again
ultimate.
gone
And I try to tell
silent.
you not to do nothing like
Humanitarian
that
aid flowing
if
into
you
the
know the
Gaza Strip
drawback. Well,
once again on
sometimes
Monday.
that
Hamas, for its
you may
part,
get a black guy,
denied
and I got to check his
any
ass. See what I'm
involvement
saying?
in
We
the
just
attack
live
that
in our
killed those
communities,
two
but
Israeli
the
soldiers.
white
Yet
guys normally tell
authorities
you they're hanging
say that
out
they
with the
have
guys, and
no
they're doing
knowledge
that
of
type
any
of thing with
incidents
the
that took
girl
place
that
in that
seem
southern Gaza
popular
area where
to
this
do,
happened,
but
and saying
when
that
it
they
goes into
lost
regular
contact with
forms
their
of doing
fighters
things, you
in
just
that
can't do it. Can't do
area.
nothing
Nonetheless,
regular. You can
Israel
do that.
maintaining that
You get
this
with the
was
guys and you do the
a
girls,
Hamas
but you
attack.
can't.
But we do
You
know
can't really do the normal things you need. Normal things you need to do. See what I'm saying? So when it's like that, I tell you that Facebook is doing maintenance. That's what most people are doing. The maintenance. Don't be upset that the cable gets shot. All that stuff like that. Because when you can do the regular thing, yes, she'll take you then. She'll take you as a nice guy. But you can't do none of that stuff. Nobody wants to fool with you. I'm gonna sit there and end it then. Go ahead and post. Thanks.